Hey everyone, so today had a pretty good workout, did arms today, pretty solid. My calves are still hating me. It's weird because I haven't really done calves in, years, and like I remember back in the day when I used to be a bro bodybuilder and I used to do calves, and I remember like being bizarrely proud of my calves, even though they were tiny and, like useless. And then now I'm feeling proud of them again, and I know that it's useless, but I'm still like, oh man, these calves are great, and it's weird because like for so many years I've just had like these these soft, like you could poke them and it's like, oh, this is like somewhat muscle, but it's a lot of whatever down there, and now it's like, oh yeah, that's muscle again. That's definitely very very defined. So yeah, that was my workout today. Diet's been okay, doing pretty good. Got a lot of writing done today. Had an extra long shift at work, so covered a lot of good stuff. And I keep saying this, but I am getting closer and closer to actually finishing the book. It's really nearing kind of the final stretch. So yeah, hopefully another couple weeks. Yeah, I should even actually have some time this weekend to work on it, so hopefully I'll be able to, get something done. Anyway, so today I just wanted to cover a couple more viewer questions. This will be kind of a short one because they're both, not too big of a question, and but, I didn't want to let it go too long before I answer them. So why not? Let's go ahead and do it. So, question number 1 is from Influential Gamer on Twitter. And they are saying, okay, next question, is PC gaming cardio? And I said, okay, what does that mean? And they say, is there a way to convert pounds per minute into minutes on a treadmill? So, the sad fact is, no, you cannot. It's sadly, as much as everyone loves doing cardio, and as much as they would hate to be able to get in their cardio otherwise, unfortunately, yeah, PC gaming is not the solution. So the reason for that, and this is actually a really kind of surprisingly an actually kind of serious question, is that you can't get a cardiovascular effect simply from raising your heart rate. If you could get in super good shape by just being stressed out all the time. And we know that the opposite of that is true, because the more stressed out that you are, the more anxious you are, that's going to send your hormones going into all sorts of weird places. That's going to have negative effects on your health. So there are ways to raise your heart rate that have nothing to do with cardio, but don't actually improve your cardiovascular ability. And that's simply because it's like one variable out of a bunch of them that have to work together to actually get you to have a good, serious cardio workout and get better. So the problem is, it's just the one thing. So it doesn't. It's not cardio, unfortunately. So no matter how mad you get at like some assholes online or whatever, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, unfortunately. So the other question was, let me double check here. I think I forgot for a second. Okay, so other question was ideas for different squats to do while brushing my teeth. So that's basically what variations can you do on body weight squats? So of course there's lunges, and the problem with lunges is they do involve a bit of stability, which might make it harder if you're trying to use the other hand to brush your teeth or whatever. But you can still keep one hand on the counter, assuming you've got the space, and you can do some lunges in your bathroom. You can also do basically side lunges. Side lunges are a little bit less stability involved, so you could a little more easily get those in. One that I really like that chances are people aren't going to do it anyway, but it's really cool, is the Cossack squat, which is kind of like a squat mixed with a side lunge. It's a really great body weight exercise for kind of building mobility and strengthen the hips, and so so yeah, that's a great one too. When it comes to hip focused, hip dominant exercises, a lot of people don't think about the fact that you can deadlift without having to hold onto a bar or having to hold onto a weight. You can do basic toe touches while keeping your low back tight, keeping your glutes out. That will basically help you target your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings a little more, the way a deadlift would, without having to add any load to it. So you can do body weight deadlifts, essentially. And that's something that I like to do with particularly elderly clients or extremely deconditioned clients who can't really do a lot of weight at first, or who might have back issues that make it hard to put on any weight at first. And so what you'll do is you'll even start them off just doing toe touches, or just doing, again, some kind of body weight deadlift. And from there, then you start adding some weight and you build up. Now, again, of course, you can do that at home, and that's great. That's awesome. There was a really interesting study that came out lately, and I believe Brett Contreras was involved in it. And the cool thing about it was it basically compared lifting weights to pretending to lift weights, to lifting no weight. So basically the idea was that you were performing the motions, but you weren't actually lifting the weight. And the interesting thing was that they actually saw that this did cause hypertrophy. This actually did cause people to build muscle. Now the problem was, it didn't build much of any strength. And long term, I will say that this is not necessarily a perfectly scientifically backed up statement, but I believe that it's likely that if they did a long-term study, they would find that that lack of strength would be a limiting factor. It would prevent people from getting better. And that's simply because in my model of the way things work, which may or may not be exactly the way things work, muscle and strength tend to be synergistic, which means that improving one tends to help improving the other. So if you're seeing that you're building muscle but you're not seeing any improvements in strength, that's kind of a red flag for me, because it means that you're probably not going to be building more muscle long term. So I do think it's possible. I'm not sure how good of or how optimal of an idea that is. I think that obviously when you add weight, it's a lot easier to progress things. And if you were just to do unweighted movements all the time, that would obviously violate the principle of overload unless you were just doing more and more reps constantly. So yeah, that's kind of a long answer to the question. But basically, you can do some body weight squats, body weight lunge variations, Cossack squats. You can even do body weight weightless deadlifts as well. So that's something I recommend. So that's it for today. Those are our two questions. I forgot that question came from Zoe Fisher at Zoe_Zoe on Twitter. So that covers the two questions I had for today. So, as always, like, comment, share, and let me know what you guys want to see next time. Have a good night.